There was once a young man named Liam who dreamed of achieving the impossible. He lived in a small town nestled between mountains and rivers, where he felt trapped by the limitations of his mind. One day, while on a tourist trip to a beautiful island, he met an old monk. The monk looked into Liam's eyes and said, "You're using only a fraction of your brain power." Shocked and curious, Liam asked, "How do I unlock the full potential?" The monk smiled and said, "It begins with belief and focus." Liam listened carefully as the monk continued, "Your brain is like a vast ocean, but you're only dipping your toes." Intrigued, Liam asked, "What must I do to dive deeper?" The monk handed him a small notebook and said, "Write down your goals and focus on one thing at a time." Liam took the notebook and wrote his first goal, "Master my mind." As he walked through the island's lush forests, he thought deeply about what the monk had said. The air was fresh, and the beauty of nature inspired him to push his limits. He decided to visit different countries to learn from the best minds around the world. His journey took him to the bustling streets of Tokyo, where he learned the art of mindfulness from a Zen master. The master told him, "Control your thoughts, and you control your life." Liam practiced every day, training his mind to focus without distraction. Next, he traveled to the deserts of Egypt, where he met a scientist who studied the human brain. The scientist explained, "Your brain is capable of infinite learning, but you must challenge it daily." Liam began reading books on neuroscience, understanding the deep connection between the brain and behavior. He trained himself to memorize complex information and solve difficult puzzles. The more he challenged his brain, the more powerful it became. Liam's confidence grew as he realized his brain was evolving. He traveled to the mountains of Peru, where he met an explorer who had climbed every peak. The explorer said, "Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets." Liam hiked up the mountains, pushing his body and mind to their limits. As he reached the summit, he felt a surge of mental clarity. Looking down at the world below, he realized how much potential he had unlocked. His brain felt sharper, faster, and more alive than ever before. He continued his journey, visiting temples, libraries, and ancient cities. Each new experience stretched his mind in different ways. One day, while exploring the ruins of Greece, he found an ancient scroll. The scroll detailed how great thinkers like Socrates and Plato used deep thinking to change the world. Liam was fascinated and began practicing the art of deep contemplation. He would sit in silence for hours, allowing his mind to explore new ideas. The more he thought deeply, the more creative and intelligent he became. He realized that brain power wasn't just about knowledge but about understanding the world deeply. Liam began to connect ideas in ways he had never imagined. He started writing down his discoveries in his notebook. His brain felt limitless, as if he could solve any problem in the world. He became a traveler not only of the world but of the mind. Everywhere he went, he applied what he had learned, turning his thoughts into reality. Liam started his own business, creating products that improved people's lives. His success grew, and people began to notice his incredible brain power. He was invited to speak at conferences and share his methods for unlocking the full potential of the brain. He told his audience, "The secret is simple. Believe in your mind, focus on your goals, and never stop learning." Liam's message resonated with people all over the world. He traveled to schools, teaching children how to use their brains to their fullest potential. He met leaders and innovators who were eager to learn from him. Everywhere he went, he saw the power of the human brain in action. One day, while standing on a stage in front of thousands, he realized he had achieved what once seemed impossible. His brain was operating at 100% capacity, and it felt amazing. He knew that everyone had the same potential, waiting to be unlocked. After his speech, a young woman approached him and asked, "How did you stay motivated through it all?" Liam smiled and said, "The key is to keep going, even when it's hard." He added, "Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger." The woman nodded, inspired by his words, and set off on her own journey. Liam returned to the island where he first met the monk. As he walked through the familiar forest, he felt a deep sense of gratitude. He found the monk sitting by the same tree, meditating. Liam approached him and said, "I've unlocked my brain power, just as you said." The monk opened his eyes and replied, "You've only just begun." Liam was surprised and asked, "But I feel like I'm using 100% of my brain." The monk chuckled and said, "The brain is infinite. There is always more to discover." Liam smiled, realizing that his journey was far from over. He thanked the monk and continued his exploration of the mind. With each passing day, Liam found new ways to push his mental limits. He meditated, learned new languages, and took on impossible challenges. His brain became a tool for creating beauty, solving problems, and helping others. He built schools, libraries, and research centers dedicated to brain development. Liam became known as the man who unlocked the true potential of the human mind. People from all over the world came to him for guidance and wisdom. His legacy grew, and his teachings spread to every corner of the globe. Liam's story became an inspiration for future generations. He showed the world that there were no limits to what the brain could achieve. One evening, Liam sat by a river, watching the sunset. He reflected on his life and all the incredible moments he had experienced. The beautiful places he had seen, the people he had met, and the challenges he had overcome. It all started with a belief that the brain had more potential than anyone realized. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Liam felt a deep sense of peace. He knew his journey had just begun, but he was ready for whatever came next. The world was full of mysteries, and his brain was the key to unlocking them. Liam stood up, ready to continue his adventure. He smiled and whispered to himself, "The mind is infinite, and so am I." With that, he walked into the night, his brain alive with possibilities. His story spread across the world, inspiring millions to tap into their own brain power. People everywhere began to realize that they too could unlock their full potential. Liam's teachings transformed lives, businesses, and entire communities. He proved that the human brain is the most powerful tool on earth. And as long as we keep learning, growing, and challenging ourselves, there are no limits to what we can achieve. Liam became a symbol of possibility, reminding everyone that greatness starts in the mind. His journey was a testament to the fact that with the right mindset, anything is possible. He continued traveling, sharing his wisdom, and inspiring others to believe in their own potential. And through it all, Liam never stopped pushing the limits of his own brain. He knew that the mind, like the universe, was ever expanding. And as long as he stayed curious and dedicated, there would always be new frontiers to explore. Liam's journey was never about reaching an end, but about the endless pursuit of knowledge. He lived every day as an adventure, with his brain as his greatest ally. In the end, Liam's story wasn't just about unlocking brain power, but about unlocking life itself. And as long as we remember that, the possibilities are truly endless.